God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay, let's talk about Cinderella. Cinderella adaptations really mean a lot to me, and so I rank them when I'm done watching them every single time, and like I update rankings and stuff like that. And part of my ranking system is the prince. So it kind of goes like plot, prince, dress, evil stepfamily, the ballroom scene, and like the reveal. And I feel like if your Cinderella movie hits all of that criteria, it's a top tier Cinderella movie. If your Cinderella movie doesn't necessarily hit all of the criteria, but it does hit what it does hit, it hits really well. Really good Cinderella movie. Now, if your movie hits the criteria, but it's bad, bad Cinderella movie. Look at that. That's how that works. So, today we're just going to be ranking the princes. I have the concepts for a long form Cinderella movie ranking, but there's just so much, and I can go on for hours about that. So I just have to figure out how I want to convey my thoughts and feelings. Make sense? Perfect. So, starting out, Cinderella, 1950. This Prince Charming is mid. I apologize. I deeply apologize. I know in Cinderella 2 and Cinderella 3 he is better, but I didn't watch Cinderella 2. I didn't watch Cinderella 3. You know why? Because I watched Cinderella for rags to riches. I don't watch Cinderella when she's having rich girl problems. I watch rags to riches. Prince Charming in this movie is kind of mid. He knows what he wants, and he gets it. I will give him props for that. But other than that, he really ain't do shit in this movie. Okay. Chad Michael Murray. Almost. He is almost perfect. I almost put him in perfect, and then I looked back at my notes and I realized I had him in just barely there. He's a 6 or 7 out of 10 Prince because it takes him an entire football game to realize and like sit on Hilary Duff's monologue. I'm sorry. I knew like it's like waiting for rain in this drought. Okay, you should be groveling right there, right then. And he doesn't. He goes out and plays his little football game. So that's what gets him an almost. So close. Oh, sorry, Char. Perfection. No surprise there. No surprise there. Only person in that entire movie to never abuse Ella's gift. Perfection. Okay, Henry from Ever After. I know, I apologize. And he goes in I know, because he is a petulant little child for most of the movie. And he's like, Wah! Drew Barrymore lied to me. Wah! And Leonardo da Vinci has to be like, boy, she sacrificed everything to be here with you. Everything. And you're like, Wah! So, props to Leonardo da Vinci for that. Oh, again, Richard Madden, Cinderella 2015. Perfection. No surprise there. Okay, so those are my two perfection characters. Again, no surprise there. Okay, so Nicholas Gelzatine in Cinderella 2021 goes in the almost tier. Just because he is honestly the comic relief of that movie. He is the funniest part, and he uplifts what would otherwise be a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. And I'm not saying that as a Nicholas Galzatine simp. Am I? Probably. But I am saying that as a fan of him in this movie. His scenes are funny. All he wants to do is hunt and be a little gay with his boys. And now all he wants to do is sleep with Camila Cabello and not be king. And honestly, I don't respect it, but I support men supporting women. So congratulations, Nicholas Galzatine. You go in almost. And I think this was like one of his first roles. So I give the guy a little bit of a break. Okay, so this is Michael Evan Spelling in Starstruck. He also goes in almost. He is one of the highest ranking, like, Cinderella stories. He is the highest ranking Cinderella story boys, like sequel boys, because he is fine as hell, one. And two, he has like he has character traits and it makes sense, like his character. And the only thing like he's not perfection is because the movie's bad, so like he's not that great of a well written character, and then two, um, I just he's not a perfection prince. He's not a perfection prince because we really don't see him falling in love and being all consumed by his love for our main girly pop, Bailey Madison or Madison Bailey. I can't remember which one. It was just a whiny bitch in Once Upon a Time. So whichever one, not the black one, not the one who is in Outer Banks. So, okay. So this is where we get into. Okay, I'm just gonna throw Greg Sulkin in mid. This guy in mid, and I am so sorry, Freddie Stroma. You also go in mid. And these three are literally like the same guy. There's no difference between the three of them. It's like they're all just mid, and these are the other another Cinderella story, like a Cinderella story sequel princes. They're all the same. Chad Michael Murray was one of one, and I'm sorry to you three boys, but actually no, Freddie Stroma going in almost because I love Vigilante and Peacemaker. Congratulations, Freddie Stroma. Okay, boy bye. You sexually assaulted a woman in the woods. Agony is a good song, but yeah, no, boy bye. Okay. Okay, I'm really tempted to put in I know like, but he's gonna go in mid. Um, but he has like the same issues as Prince Henry in kind of being like whiny and a little bitch, but he's a person of color, so I support. And one of those two princes is in Descendants 4. Did I like Descendants 4? Hell no. But one of them is in Descendants 4, the other one isn't. Okay. So, you might notice that there is a tier called Perfection, but this character really doesn't belong with the other two in Perfection. So let's talk about Bryant motherfucking Bailey from Not Cinderella's Type. Now, you might consider yourself a Cinderella fan, a Cinderella connoisseur, if you may. And then you might be sitting here being like, who the fuck is Bryant Bailey? And what the fuck is Not Cinderella's Type? It's a 2018 Mormon Cinderella movie, and it is funny as fuck. And that's we'll just talk about Bryant Bailey for a little bit, because that's what this video is about. It's about the princess. It's not really about the movies and how fucking funny they are. But Bryant Bailey, he is, honest to God, one of the best prince characters that we see. He helps and like supports Indy in getting out of her abusive household, and he doesn't like he doesn't expect anything in return, like not even like friendship, really. He also encourages her to go out and go on a date with like his like a kind of rival like love interest in Maxton, and tells her to like follow her heart even if it means her like going with Maxton instead of with him. And it's why like in the end Indy ends up with Bryant Bailey, because Bryant Bailey is like willing to like is always picking up the phone, will always be there for her, you know, is helping her get out of this like abusive situation that she's in. And it's and like Bryant Bailey, like I can go on and on about Bryant Bailey, but it really doesn't make sense without like the rest of the movie. So that's all I'm going to talk about him for now, and then later on when I make my long Cinderella ranking and review, I'll talk more about Bryant Bailey. But for now, let's talk about Drew Seeley. Now, Drew Seeley in another Cinderella story, he doesn't deserve Boy Bye, but he ends up in Boy Bye because of this glaring plot hole in another Cinderella story. And I'm just going to read straight from my notes for this one because it's a little convoluted, but it'll make sense. So, when Mary is 11, she makes a video for an already famous Joey Barker. So we see that it's like the blackmail. She's dancing with the magazine cover, and you can see like the adult Joey Parker on the cover, And this is like young Selena Gomez. This is like 11-year-old Selena Gomez. They state that she's 11 years old. This means Joey either got famous at 11 and 12, which is possible, but based on the magazine photo, this is highly unlikely. Or he's a 23-year-old super duper senior and he has relationships with not one, but two minors. Because Natalia is a senior, but no, most likely not like a super senior like Joey, if they dated before he left, that would have been like Joey at like 17, 18, dating like a 13, 14-year-old Natalia. Maybe. I like genuinely, I have no idea. If anybody knows the answer to this question, if like Joey Parker got famous at 11, 12, and like this magazine photo was just like an error, and I know that that's what it is that this magazine photo is not supposed to be taken at face value, but it's just, it also just doesn't seem like it adds up because he got famous. That means he got famous at 11, 12 and stopped going to school at 11, 12, meaning Natalia's hung up about a middle school, like barely even a middle school relationship. We're talking like a 6th grade relationship that she's hung up about. And I get it. If I dated like a Justin Bieber in 6th grade, I would also be hung up about it. But she's like a little bit too touchy-feely for a relationship that last occurred in like 6th grade. So I don't know how to explain this plot hole, but it gets in my mind every time I watch this movie, and I can't properly appreciate Joey Parker for who he is because this plot hole isn't back in my mind that he could full on be like, and I get it. Like, I know Drew Seeley was 25 when filming this movie, and that's why him and Selena Gomez never kiss. But like, is Joey Parker a 22, 23-year-old man? Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm like, how old is Joey Parker? How old is Selena Gomez? How old was Joey Parker when he got famous? These are like 3 questions that I would like that I need to be answered for me to move Joey Parker to where he really belongs, which is the almost tier. But if he is a 23-year-old and he's having multiple relationships with minors, he goes in the boy bye. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I do make the rules, but I also don't. You know? Okay. So, in conclusion, Cinderella movies are fucking phenomenal. I love them so much. And I want to know if people are interested in seeing this long form video. And if you are, would you rather it be like this massive 2-3 hour video where I'm just talking about all the Cinderellas all at once, just like going in on them? Or would you rather me like break them up into like 2-3 videos? It would be 3 videos, like 3 parts. And if I break it up into 3 parts, I can combine them all together and post that as well. That might end up be what I do. Oh my god, that might be what I end up doing at the end of it, just so it comes all together like kind of nicely. But this is just like a little tester, see how I like editing and having fun with recording and stuff like that. And I mean, I want to get my opinion out there about how I rank the Cinderella princes. So here's my opinions. Okay. Stay tuned for part 1 of my full Cinderella ranking coming soon.